For dessert tonight, I'm serving semifreddo. Semifreddo is traditionally a frozen mousse-like texture ice cream consistency. And usually semifreddo involves nuts. Now, I have a child that's allergic to nuts, so I've created a recipe that omits the nuts but is still packed with flavor. So today we're having a chocolate orange infused semifreddo, and it also ties in one of our pasta dishes with the oranges, again carrying kind of the theme of the meal through to dessert. First thing we do is take our egg yolks, put them in the bowl of an electric mixer, sugar, and vanilla. This is such a fun dessert to make because of the color. We're gonna whip these eggs until they triple in volume. And they're almost gonna look like a cross between a whipped cream. They're gonna be that fluffy and a hollandaise in that gorgeous pale yellow color. It's just beautiful. So with a whisk attachment, you're gonna whisk these for 3 to 5 minutes until they triple in volume and become very pale yellow and fluffy. Look at how light and fluffy those egg yolks whipped up to. Just gorgeous. Now I've taken some chocolate, just dark chocolate chips, and I've melted it at 30-second intervals in the microwave. You can certainly do this over a double boiler, but again, if you want to save a little time, 30-second intervals in the microwave, stirring in between so that the chocolate doesn't burn. And I let it cool just for about 5 minutes. I'm going to put it right into the egg yolk mixture. And now I'm going to fold this. And again, with a fold, you just want to almost go underneath to the bottom of the bowl and turn your hand, because you don't want the air to come out of this beautiful fluffy egg mixture. That's what's going to give your cream a lightness. Looks great already. Perfect. Okay, now in this bowl I'm going to add my heavy cream. And the zest of an orange, and that's going to give us our orange flavoring. Orange and chocolate pair very, very well together. They make great desserts. You can find them in some after dinner drinks. And again, it all goes together with our meal, which I always try to do. I try to pick a dessert that is going to marry the whole theme of the meal, tie all the dishes together. Balance everything out. Perfect. Okay, so once again, with a whisk attachment, I'm going to whip this cream until it becomes, again, light and fluffy like whipped cream. That whipped cream smells so fabulous with that zest of orange infused into it. And you see how fluffy it became. And now I'm just folding that into the chocolate egg mixture. Again, this is almost the same method you would use for a souffle. People think that souffles are hard. They're not. They're actually just as easy as this dish. It's just having a gentle hand when you're folding. That's really the key to making sure that everything stays light. Now, if you don't like orange, instead of adding the orange zest to the whipped cream, you could have added a teaspoon of espresso powder and made it a mocha semifreddo. So get creative, make it your own, change up the flavor combinations. If you didn't want dark chocolate, you could do white chocolate. So again, anything goes. This is just the method that I'm teaching you. Okay, so that is incorporated. I'm gonna set this aside, and I'm gonna take my egg whites, and again, they're gonna go into the bowl of the mixer. With a little salt, I'm essentially making a meringue. This is the last step. And see how easy this is. Again, it's gonna be whisked on high, folded, turned into a meringue, and then we're gonna incorporate the chocolate mixture with the meringue, and you're gonna get this beautiful, light, fluffy mousse. So our egg whites turned into this beautiful meringue. So now I'm just going to take a little bit of this meringue and I'm going to fold it into our egg yolk whipped cream chocolate mixture. And I'm doing this because if I suddenly poured this heavier mixture into the egg whites, it would deflate the egg whites. But by adding the egg whites to the mixture, I'm again taking the step to lighten it all up before I mix it into the rest of the meringue. Looks like snow. Perfect, okay. So now this gets transferred into the meringue. Fold this up again. I'll tell you one thing, making this dessert gives your arms a very good workout. See, cooking can be exercise. There we go. Now, you can serve this dish two ways. At this point, you could put it into individual serving cups and put it in the freezer, or you can put it into a loaf pan that's been lined with plastic wrap, and then once it's frozen, you can serve it in slices. That's the way I choose to do it because I like the way it plates up with some garnishes. So I've taken plastic wrap and I've made it long enough that I can then fold it over to the top of the semi-Freddo to cover it. And I'm just going to pour this into the loaf pan. Now this recipe will give you enough for 2 loaf pans. Okay, so that's that. To this point, again, you're done. Cover it up. Place it in the freezer. This needs to chill in the freezer for 6 hours minimum, but you're welcome to do this a day or even 2 days in advance because this will last for up to 4 days in the freezer. Now, let me show you how to plate. I already have one ready for you. Oops. So I've inverted my pan and I'm just going to peel off the plastic wrap. It does not stick, you have nothing to worry about. And yes, the plastic wrap will make a little bit of marks on top, but don't worry about it, you're never going to notice it once you plate it. So I'm just going to take, look at that inside, you can see the chocolate going through it. I'm just going to take a nice slice of the semi-Freddo. I'm going to put it right there on the plate. And I like to serve a few cookies with it. So these are just some almond meringue cookies that I made, but any of your favorite cookies would be fine paired with this. And then a drizzle of chocolate ganache. And chocolate ganache is simply chocolate and cream in equal parts that you melt together. Decadent, rich, absolutely delicious. Perfect for a summertime dessert because it's light and it's cool and refreshing.